Hello guys, this is a beginner tutorial for Adobe Illustrator. In this tutorial you will take a look at 26 tips, tricks and hacks from A to Z shortcuts in Adobe Illustrator. A is for Direct Selection tool. Any objects in Adobe Illustrator are created of anchor points. The Direct Selection tool allows you to select individual points of any object. When the anchor is full blue, it means that it has been selected. Now we can move the anchor and create a new shape. We can also select segments of any objects and drag them to create any shape we want. B is for Paintbrush tool. The Paintbrush tool is used to create a freeform path that can have a more hand-draw feel. With this tool you can draw a path and apply a brush to the stroke at the same time to give the paths an artistic look. C is for Scissors tool. Make sure your shape is actively selected and then press C to activate the Scissors tool. Scissors tool only works on the outlines. This means that you cannot cut anything inside the illustration. It can be used to cut something from the edge to edge or to open a closed shape. D is for Default Fill and Stroke. The default fill and stroke in Adobe Illustrator is white fill with a black stroke. Select your object and then press D on the keyboard to return to the default colors. E is for Free Transform tool. To free transform an object, click the Free Transform button on the widget and then use any of the following methods. Drag a corner resize handle to scale. To scale proportionally, hold Shift and drag. To scale from center, hold down Alt for Windows or Option for Mac and then drag. And also holding down Shift and Alt to scale from the center proportionally. F is for Full Screen. Cycle between screen modes. Normal screen mode, full screen with menu, full screen mode. Just keep hitting F to get back to your choice of screen mode. G is for Gradient tool. A gradient is a graduated blend of two or more colors or tint of the same color. Select the Gradient tool and then click on the object you want to apply a gradient on. The gradient annotator will appear on the top of the object. The gradient annotator is a slider that allows you to edit the starting point, the ending point, and the color stops. You can change the colors by clicking on them, and you can change the location by dragging them. H is for Hand tool. If you want to navigate around the artboard more easily, you can use the Hand tool. There are two ways to use the Hand tool. Press letter H to activate the tool. Now you can just click and drag over your artboard to move around. If you really want to speed things up, press and hold spacebar on your keyboard to switch seamlessly between the Hand tool and any other tool you are using at the time. I is for Eyedropper tool. You can use this tool to copy specific appearance attributes of an object such as the fill or the stroke. First, select the object that you want to change. Then select the Eyedropper tool and move it to the object whose attributes you want to sample and click. Now, all the attributes will be copied over. J is for Column Graph tool. Click where you want to create a graph, enter a width and the height for the graph and click OK. Enter data for the graph in the Graph Data window. Enter text box, import data save as a text file, switch the columns and the rows of data, switch the X and the U axis of the graphs, adjust the column width or decimal precision of cells, apply the changes you've made in the graph data, click the apply button or press enter key on the numeric keypad to create the graph. K is for Live Paint bucket tool. Unlike a normal fill, the Live Paint tool can differentiate between all the different overlapping shapes. Hover over different sections in the art and notice how the section highlights in red. Go to Swatches panel and choose a color, then click a section in the art to apply it. L is for Ellipse tool. The Ellipse tool creates elliptical shapes and path shape outlines. To create a circle, hold down the Shift key while dragging, or you can click once on the screen and add the values. Be creative, use your imagination to create a whole range of graphics using this tool. M is for rectangle tool. Drag diagonally to draw a rectangle. To draw a square, hold down the Shift key and drag. To create a square or a rectangle using values, click where you want the top left corner to be. Specify a width and a height and click OK. Be creative, use your imagination to create a whole range of graphics using this tool. N is for pencil tool. Before starting a new path, the pencil cursor will have a star next to it. A star signifies the start of a new path. Click and start drawing. The star symbol will disappear from the cursor. That shows you are currently working on a path. You can also change colors in the toolbox. If you are trying to draw closed shapes, make sure you return to the starting point. If you are not sure the path is closed, use Ctrl J. If the path was already closed, you will have a window pop up saying that it cannot be joined. Just click OK. O is for Reflect tool. Select your object, go and double click on the Reflect tool to open the option panel. You can choose the vertical option for a left to right reflection, the horizontal option for a top to bottom reflection, or you can type an angle value. You can click OK if you want to apply the change for your object, or you can press copy to make a copy of your object with the new properties. P is for Pen tool. The pen tool allows you to create all sorts of shapes. Simply clicking between anchor points create a straight line. Whereas if you click and drag, you will create a curve. To draw a curve when creating an anchor point, drag to create direction handles and then release. The more you drag when creating or editing anchor points handles, the more curve the path has. Q is for Lasso tool. The Lasso tool lets you select objects, anchor points or path segments by dragging around all or a part of the object. R is for Rotate tool. Select one or more objects and press R key. To rotate the object around its center point, drag in a circular motion anywhere in the document window. To rotate the object around a different reference point, click once anywhere in the document window to reposition the reference point. Then move the pointer away from the reference point and drag in a circular motion. To rotate a copy of the object instead of the object itself, hold down Alt for Windows or Option for Mac after you start to drag. S is for Scale tool. Select one or more objects. Select the Scale tool. To scale relative to the object's center point, drag until the object is the desired size. To maintain the object's proportions as it scales, hold down Shift as you drag diagonally. T is for Type tool. Once activated, click and drag a text box to act as a boundary for your text. If you prefer not to have a text box, you can click on your document to act as a starting place for your lines of the text. Type away to your heart's content, but watch out for type that lies outside the text box. You will notice a small box with a red plus sign to alert you of outside text. Simply decrease your font size to ensure all type is displayed properly. If needed, you can expand your text box by clicking and dragging the bounding box with the selection tool. U is for Mesh tool. Select the object and activate the Mesh tool. Click where you want to position the first mesh point. Continue clicking to add additional mesh points. To change the color of the mesh point or patch, select the mesh object and then drag a color from the color panel or swatches panel into the point or patch. To select more points, use Direct Selection tool. Click on the points by holding Shift and then select the color from the color panel. V is for Selection tool. To select objects with the selection tool, activate the selection tool and click on an object or drag a marquee around part of all of one or more objects. To add or remove objects from selection, hold down Shift and click or drag around the object you want to add or remove. W is for Blend tool. Select both objects and activate the Blend tool. Double-click the Blend tool to open the blend options. Smooth color, Illustrator auto-calculate the number of steps for the blends. If objects are filled or stroked with different colors, the steps are calculated to provide the optimum number of steps for a smooth color transition. Specified steps control the number of steps between the start and end of the blend. Specified distance control the distance between the steps in the blend. X is for toggle between fill and stroke. You can quickly change the fill and stroke attributes of any selected frame by pressing the following keys. Press the X key to toggle between the stroke and fill attributes. Press Shift X and fill color and stroke color will swap places. Y is for Magic Wand tool. Select the Magic Wand tool and do one of the following. To create a selection, click the object containing the attributes you want to select. All objects with the same attributes that were clicked are selected. To add to the current selection, press Shift and click another object containing the attributes you want to add. All objects with the same attributes that were clicked are also selected. To subtract from the current selection, press Alt, Windows or Option Mac and click the objects containing the attributes you want to subtract. All objects with the same attributes are removed from the selection. Z is for Zoom tool. Using the Zoom tool, you can click the document window to zoom in. To zoom out, Alt-click for Windows or Option-click for a Mac. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe.